Hi, everyone, and welcome to AB Conversations, where we will help you CFP your way out of it. A podcast where you get into the minds of a couple certified financial planners on how we think and feel about everyday financial planning questions and what should really matter most to you. A healthier financial life starts now.
Hey, Adam, welcome back.
Hey, thanks for having me back.
You're in the title. I got to keep inviting you.
For now.
No, happy to be doing this again. It is, I know we've said it before, it's one of my favorite times of the week. So let's do it. I love this topic. I will say, I think the ultimate title of this podcast probably needs explanation. So topic today comes from a book that we both have recently read, Patrice Jenkins' What Will I Do All Day? And for those that are soon to retire, maybe have recently retired, in retirement and maybe kind of struggling with it, absolutely recommend it. Reach out to us. I'll give you a copy of the book. I would point to something she says in there is the title that people call retirement like jumping out of a plane and not knowing if the parachute is going to work or not.
Right.
And that's a crazy thought. I've never jumped out of a plane. I don't know if you've ever jumped out of a plane.
No desire.
I can absolutely assure you that I would be one of those people that goes, are you sure this is going to open? Are you sure it's going to open? Are you sure everything's okay? Right? You need to validate that. So this resonates with us. A lot of the work that we do, financial advising, financial planning for people, we need to make sure that from a financial perspective, right, there's a lot of security in there that the parachute's going to happen. But there, of course, is a lot more to this life transition. Maybe the second parachute is socially, emotionally. What am I going to do all day? Where am I going to find purpose? So let's chat about it today. The non-financial side of it.
Yeah, and I'll just share some context there. I don't know about you. We haven't had this discussion, but when you and I went down this path of like becoming financial planners, this side of that conversation was not like no one coached you up on that side, right? Just the human interaction, like actually trying to have those conversations of not just can I retire financially? Yes, I can check these boxes. I'm going to be okay. But now like the second part of people's retirement is what will I do with my time? And we've now seen it enough times that not everyone has an answer to that initially. So just having those conversations, being able to now have some perspective. Again, we've been around long enough to now have some experience going through this many times that we're seeing more and more need for that side of the conversation that, as you said, it's something that I don't think a lot of people necessarily talk about, but we certainly see the importance of solving both sides to that retirement equation.
So then let's talk about some of those things that we see. And it's not that we are clinical psychologists here. We're not trying to represent ourselves that way, but we do have a wealth of experience and stories to tell on what we've found work for clients and how we can kind of play a role in helping that work. And I'll start with one and then I'll throw it back to you for maybe the next one.
Sure.
I think it's really important to be gentle with yourself and not feel like this is, I have to have the next 30 years of my life figured out, right? Yeah. We often in planning on the financial side go, well, let's really think in these smaller increments of the next 2 years, the next 4 years, right? Life changes a lot. The world around us changes a lot. Retirement can essentially be a blank sheet of paper on where you're going to go with things and what really matters to you. And even that may change. So I think our first piece of advice is it's okay to not know what's next for you. Just feel good that you can financially do what you need to do, and we'll figure the rest out later.
It reminds me of that old joke or the old saying of, how do you eat a Buick? And it's spoonful by spoonful, right? It's you can't just do all of retirement in day one. And we've certainly seen there are people that know what they are retiring to. I want to do X, Y, Z in retirement, but we also see equally as much. I'm not sure. I know I don't want to be in my stressful job anymore. Right. And that's one thing. But then, what am I going to do to fill my time? I'm not sure. I have some interests and maybe it's exploring some of those. But yeah, I think breaking it into smaller chunks makes it easier to digest and gives you the freedom, you being whoever's looking to retire or in retirement now, gives you the freedom to just try things, right? It's just going through that trial and error process to really find what fits for you.
Yeah, and it's again another analogy that kind of pops into my mind. It is that next stop mentality. It's not the last stop. And I almost think to like, I go, it's everything in my life is the kids, right? It's the 3-year-old right now that like free play means this gets dumped over here. 5 minutes later, I'm not really interested in that. So now we're going to move to puzzles. Now we're going to move to Legos. You know, it's okay to have that kind of free play mentality of find the things that I feel like I may have been missing from work. And I guess that would be my second piece of advice. Like, what is it about the workplace environment that you feel like brings you what you need on a daily basis? Is it socialization? Is it I have to feel like I'm productive? What is it about that? And pull that little piece out of it, and let's find the way to fill that. You know, maybe it's going to be other kinds of work. Maybe it's going to be volunteering. Maybe it's hobbies. I don't know what that is for people, but it's okay to kind of be okay not having the specific answer and just trying things out, knowing that at that point, it's not about a paycheck. If something doesn't work out or you don't like it, it's okay. We move on to the next.
Yeah, I think certainly in the book, and we see it too, there needs to be some sort of motivation to get out of bed in the mornings, right? Whether that's your family, your grandkids, it's the volunteer job that you have, it's having some sort of purpose or something that you like to do and gives you satisfaction in life in general is a huge component that we see in retirement feeling like a success to people.
Yeah, and I would take that one step further. I know I've said it kind of in other goal-oriented planning, but there's the rule of 168. It's only 168 hours in a week. And if we think about work maybe filling 40 of them, you can start to peel away, well, gee, if I'm going to add maybe one healthy choice habit, if it's exercise or walking or, you know, something early in the morning, I'm going to have another hour a day where maybe I'm helping someone out. It's charity, it's my grandkids. And maybe after connecting with people over lunch and coffee, phone calls, you start to plug away at that. And we often hear from our retired clients, I feel busier than I would have ever imagined.
Yeah.
So I think what am I going to do all day? Maybe that mental hurdle more than once you start to get into that rhythm of starting to add the things that you may have feel like you didn't have time for, it's not as big of a gap as you may have thought.
Yeah, and certainly mentally, I'm thinking back to a conversation I had a few weeks ago with a client that said that exact same thing. Like I am busier now that I am retired, and I'm in my second year of retirement, or maybe it was even the third year. I'm busier now than I ever had been when I was working. I feel overwhelmed, but it's all things that he wanted to do, right? They were all positive in nature. So even feeling overwhelmed and busy to that point still didn't stress him out, because they were things that he wanted to do. There were things on his checklist that he wanted to accomplish. So even feeling busy was an okay thing, because there wasn't something he didn't look forward to on that list.
Yeah, and that's why I think it is, some of this is just mental hurdles or fear of the unknown. And I think one of the great points in the book, and we see this with our clients too, sometimes it's just trying to give them perspective. You've probably gone through some sort of major life transition before, right? And it may not have been leaving work, and hopefully we give some of the confidence to know that, you know, the paychecks will be recreated, but you've probably had, and I know who you're talking about, you've raised kids before, you've maybe gone through a job change before, maybe it was relationships that changed, maybe it was loss of a spouse or a loved one, right? You've had to readapt, and you're probably stronger at that than you think that you are. Right. You just have to kind of put this life transition in that same camp. You successfully got through it before. It doesn't mean that wasn't without bumps or bruises or a little bit of stress here, anxiety there, but again, you'll get through it, and you'll fill it, as you said, with things that do matter to you.
Yeah. And Patrice makes the point in the book too, with one of the stories from one of the examples that she uses, that those life transitions, right? Most people have gone through them, whether it's, buying, selling a house, moving, job transition.
Right.
most people have gone through those at some point in their life, but they may be pretty far removed from when they last kind of experienced that, right? It may be 20, 25 years from the last time you would have gone through something big like that. And it's just reorienting yourself with, I did this before. It may have been a while, so maybe I just need to practice or at least get okay with the idea. But yeah, it's not something that we think, that it's going to be too big of a hurdle for people to jump over. But it may just feel new again because it's been so long since you kind of last went through a big life transition. And that's, to your point, that's okay.
Yeah, and what we would help, or want to help with as well, is to make people feel like they do have some sort of support system, right? And that is what's kind of neat about our community and kind of where we work and who we work with, right? There are these opportunities to kind of feel like you are supported by other people, other people. I mean, look, most people have friends their age. You probably have other people around you that have gone through this transition. It's probably just a really, hopefully, easy segue to kind of insert yourself in some of what they're doing if you don't know how to spend your time. Ask them what kind of worked or what didn't work, right? It's conversations. Have a cheerleader. And if you don't have one, again, let us know. We have lots of clients that like to just feel like they can socialize with other people. So I think having that support system is another really important takeaway. It's okay to ask for help. And it's probably one of the saddest parts of this last year of a pandemic, and people that have either wanted to retire now feel like they have to retire. They're not having that socialization. It's a sad thing.
Yeah.
Hopefully on the other side of this, make it a point to include that in your life.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Well said.
I guess I have one more if you want me to go there. We know a lot of people that maybe aren't ready to retire financially, but they know that they really don't want to stay in the job that they are. Again, maybe things are now changing too quickly because of a pandemic, kind of the changes in the workforce, working from home. Now it's new technology, new processes. I know that we talked about this a couple of weeks ago in a podcast. It's okay to kind of have a transition plan. I think it's really important for people not to stay in an unhealthy situation for themselves. And maybe it's just compounded if you feel like you don't have that financial parachute and you're also not really ready to fully retire. Start to explore, what do I really need to have happen, right? We have a client that, she's just great. We need to get her in a spot where she had the confidence to say, I don't need to go out and earn that money anymore. I can start this transition out of the workplace by kind of acknowledging, okay, but what do I need to go make? And that's where we can be a good resource too.
Yeah, in pinpointing the financial side of what will make retirement work financially, that gave her the confidence to choose a career change that is going to be more fulfilling. It is in a line of work that matters to her, and that is going to give her a level of satisfaction that her last job just did not. But I think to your point, it took a little bit of data behind the scenes, right? Going through that financial planning process to kind of pinpoint financially, what does that actually mean? What do I need to go earn to then feel like it's okay to now go do this more fulfilling but lower paying job, and then that I'm still okay financially for the rest of my life.
Yeah, so that's where I hope we can kind of wrap those two things together. That's what we're here for. And we hope that one parachute does kind of give you the space and time to kind of figure out that next parachute. What am I going to do all day? How do I reinvent purpose? Because that is, again, the other side of this that we really want to be okay. That as people start to think, hey, I don't want to work on the line anymore. I can't teach in this environment. My company's being acquired and I don't think I can work in these new systems with these new doctors, whoever it is that we're talking about. It is to give them that freedom and hopefully a couple of these key points to go, things will be okay. It's going to work out. You can figure out some of this later, but this book, I think, is a great resource. And anybody that's struggling with it or even just has some questions on what does it seem like it's going to be, Patrice does a really good job sharing stories about people that she's worked with.
Yeah. So I think I was thinking the same thing at the end there. Yeah. For anybody that feels like that's something that would interest them, let us know. We have copies of the book here in the office. We'd be happy to share. for anybody that wants to go through that process.
First come, first serve.
That's right.
Okay. Thanks, Adam. Good chat today.
All right. Thank you.
See you around.
Bye.
Hey everyone, Adam and I really appreciate you tuning in. Please note that the opinions we voiced in the show are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific recommendations for any individual. To determine which strategies or investments may be most appropriate for you, consult with your attorney, your accountant, and financial advisor or tax advisor prior to making any decisions or investing. Thanks for listening.